on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we've had a big push in our Facebook community. A lot of people are talking about, hey, what does it take to start a store on eBay? And the number one thing I'm going to tell you guys is it takes starting, right? It's going to take you a little while to grow your store. It's going to take you a little while to get cards up. It's going to take you some time to kind of figure out how all these things work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be making some videos to hopefully explain to you guys easy ways to get cards into your store, easy ways to get things started. So this is video number 2 in our series. Our first video shows you how to quickly get cards into your store. This one is going to deal specifically with, once the card is in your store, how do we sell our first cards, or how do we ship our first cards? We've now sold them. How do we ship them? So I'm going to share with you guys kind of what I do. If you guys have questions, let me know. I will have links in the description down below. So if you guys are interested in seeing which products I use to ship, or any other questions that you guys have, I'm here to help. I want to make sure you guys get what you need. So appreciate you guys coming out. Let's jump into it. So first things first, we're going to jump into, this is just kind of the main eBay screen. I'm already logged in, as you can see here. So here's my eBay. You can see I'm already logged in. Here's a few purchases I've made. I'm a Vikings fan, legitimately. I buy a lot of Vikings stuff. So you can see I'm winning a couple cards here. I don't know why I bid on this spiller. I really like the Jazz cards. I think they're super, super cool. I don't know if you guys have seen those. I'll show it to you real quick, just for fun, a little sidetrack. But super cool card. Glad I missed this one. This is, I'm going to show you guys one of the reasons when I take pictures, I don't take them inside of top loaders. Those scratches you see right over the rated rookie, probably the top loader. So as much as possible, take them just in the penny sleeve. Penny sleeves don't have visible scratches the way the top loaders do. So just small little share. But you're going to jump into sell. This is going to show the cards you have for sale, so you can see, you know, a couple things I'm proud of. 1,700 active listings. The big thing is eBay, like a lot of things in life, it's a numbers game. The more active listings you have up, the better. I always find this to be interesting. I figure my store is worth 50% even at closeout, right? If I was to just sell everything at 50%. So I go, you know, we've got a $53,000 store, so that's not bad at all for what I have posted. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to hover over orders, and we're going to drop down to awaiting shipment. You can see awaiting payment. Those are any cards that have been won, or you've agreed on a deal with the person but they haven't paid yet. Awaiting for shipment. Again, if you guys have questions about how functionally the store works, let me know. I'd love to make more videos. But you can see here we've got 2 cards that we've sold. So just to show you guys real quick, these 2 right here are the cards that we have sold. We have a very inexpensive Magic card. I had some fun ripping Lord of the Rings. If you guys like Lord of the Rings, kind of a fun rip. And then I sold this green Velocity that came back from PSA. Okay. So we've got those, and I'm going to go over kind of everything that I have here so you guys understand, you know, what I'm doing for shipping, things like this. All right, so looking at the left screen, at this point, if you want, you can purchase shipping labels by clicking here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the multi-label pick. So if you have a couple items sold, pretty easy. You go ahead and you click on both of those. Sorry, you can also notice that this one here, for whatever reason, it's going through authenticity. Not an issue for me. The card's authentic. I just got it back from PSA, but do know that they check it not just for if it's a real PSA card, but if there's additional damage that I didn't notate for the customer. Anyway, drop down, you can print packing slips. I don't waste time with packing slips. Add tracking is if you did it with another shipping service. I just use eBay shipping. The pricing is good. You can also mark ship, but we're going to purchase a shipping label. The rest of the stuff will happen automatically. So it's pulling up the information. 751, that is correct, and it is a 1 ounce. I can show you guys weights if you're curious to see those. But just so you guys know, this is correct. And then the post office, the USPS, charges every 4 ounces. So if you have a single card, even if it's at 2 ounce, I just put it in at 4, because you're charged the same at 2, you're charged the same at 4. So it's charged from 0 to 4 the same. Whether you put 1 ounce, half an ounce, doesn't matter, up to 4 ounces. If it is USPS Ground Advantage, which is their new ground service, which is normal shipping. That's the normal shipping you've been doing for a while. They've changed the name. Don't know why. They're doing their thing. It is what it is. From 4.1 to 8 ounces, same price. Again, 12 ounces, same price. And then all the way up to 1 pound. I put it in as 15.9. That way it's just under 1 pound, so I don't get charged the over 1 pound price. It's the same. So every 4 ounces up to 1 pound. Once you get to 1 pound, it expands. Maybe we'll talk about that in a bulk. If you guys ever ship bulk and you want to see me put together a bulk order so you guys can see what that looks like. But anyway, one card is going to be under 4 ounces, even with everything I use. If you need to, definitely get like a kitchen scale just to make sure that you can weigh them. I'll pop in some weigh videos here so you guys can see those. But you can see that this right here is going to Santa Ana, California. This is PSA. So this card's going to be shipped to PSA for them to authenticate it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm looking here. Looks good. 1 ounce, again, for one card is going to work for what we're shipping. If you guys do it differently, do weigh your card. But this card will be under 1 ounce. This card will be under 4 ounces. Perfect. So we're going to click review. And then we're just going to click confirm and pay. You can see my total shipping is $4.60. I got $6 total in shipping paid. Now, for someone who says, hey, you're charging more than the shipping cost, I am not, right? And I'm going to show you guys the breakdown to what I'm spending to ship these items. And it's going to cost me just over $6 to ship, but not by much. All right, so for me, we're going to click print labels. It's going to pop up. I've got a Rollo printer. I do suggest if you end up getting big into this and you end up selling quite a few cards, I will say that the label printers are awesome. I don't have to worry about going and finding ink. The only thing I have to make sure I have is the paper, so it eliminates a lot of issues that way. And then speed, right? Man, I print this off, quick pull right on the thing. So I'm going to print this off. And so you guys can see it. This is the Rollo printer at work. And just like that, 1 and 2 labels right off the Rollo, ready to go. And what I love is that these labels are ready to just pull and put right on there. All right, so just like that, we have our Rollo labels printed. Let's jump into the next section. So at this point, I'm just going to close this, not important. I'm going to go back to, and so you can see that these are already shipped. We're good. So now we have no more awaiting and shipping, and you can see that awaiting and payment, we're good. So for me, this kind of clears me for today. If anybody buys today, I don't have to ship same day. I can ship tomorrow. That's the way I operate. I'm not going to force myself to slow my day down just because something ships. I just do it every morning. And so if something gets shipped or gets purchased, it gets shipped out. So you can see, and then we can go down here and we can click paid and shipped. And that just shows you that in the last 90 days, I've sold 150 items. Pretty great. And I can scroll through these and just see, you know, everything's been shipped out. Any one of these, I can click on tracking, see where it's at in the process. You can see that this one's in transit. It has left Memphis as of today, so it's well on its way to the customer. I don't look at this stuff a whole lot, but it is there if it's important to you. You know what I mean? If you want to see kind of how things work and where things are at in the process, maybe that's fun. All right, guys, so next step here, let's take a peek. Let's do the simple $1 shipping. So first things first, we've already spent $60 or 60 cents on the shipping. Again, shipping total, we were at $4.60, okay? These two items right here, about 25 cents, okay? So that puts us at about $4.85, okay? Realistically, you can include, right? I had to put the card into a top loader, right? I put it in a Card Saver 1. You'll see why here in a second. These labels cost about 2 cents. So I feel like all of these things add into my shipping costs, let alone me driving down there. If that makes sense, I got to spend gas, I got to spend time. But either way, we're up to $4.85. This is 10 cents, so we're up to $4.95. I don't necessarily bill for, in my head, like how I break things down, I don't necessarily bill for tape, but we do use blue tape. If you guys know, you know, but this is painter's tape. Painter's tape is great, leaves very little to no residue. I don't use any more than I need to. I'm not looking to do anything crazy, but what we want to do, and I'll link these in the description. Sorry, I mentioned I'm going to link things in the description. I'll link these. What this is just a cardboard blank. If you look at the thickness, it basically is the same thickness as a card from your grandmother, right? So if you think of a card folded in half, that's about the same thickness. So these go through the system no problem. So we take, and we just take a small piece of tape here. I face the card down because that's the opening side, right? I just don't want the card to move. Cards don't typically move in these. These are less than 10 cents. I average them at 10 cents with shipping and everything, but they are less expensive than top loaders by half. The big reason I use them, as you can see, it makes it thinner versus if I used a traditional top loader, it would be thicker, right? And I already have the cardboard for rigidity. So if you only have top loaders, it's fine. You can definitely ship it, but you can see the difference in thinness. Anyway, the big thing with top loaders as well is you need to use a team bag around the outside of it. Otherwise the card can slide, or you have to tape over the opening. With this, the card doesn't slide around just because of the way that the card saver holds it in there, right? That card's not going to move around, which is great. So at this point, I'm going to face this towards the front. I've added this as just a safety precaution, just because I don't want anybody to mess with the opening. So the reason they're a little more money is because I get the ones I don't have to lick. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a big fan of licking them. So this is ready to go. Now, we're going to go double check, but left to right, that is letter, top to bottom. That is for other shipping. So let's see here. All right, we are good. So let me double check this. What we're going to do is we're going to take this off here. And what I do is I'm going to put this over the opening, right? That way nobody can open it without messing with the shipping label. Doesn't seem like a big deal. It also looks weird to me personally, but I have had people open items and take the item out. And I even had a guy, I'm pretty sure he stole a card from me because he's like, oh, it was already open. If a card gets opened, right? If a package, sorry, gets opened, USPS will notate that when they deliver it. They actually have little bags in there. They say, hey, we're sorry, we're not sure what happened, but this was opened. I don't have any photos of that. I should, because I've had it happen to me in the past. Things have been delivered here. It says, hey, sorry, the item was open. Fortunately, nothing was missing. But this is what I'm doing. It's a small change, but it should eliminate people being able to open this easily because you're going to end up ripping this. So if this isn't in good shape when it gets there, like on these edges where it connects, I know somebody messed with it, if that makes sense. So that one is good to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, I have this second one. You can put it in these. These are just a semi-rigid envelope. I know people get really hung up. Well, Josh, it's supposed to be a plain white envelope. It is not. That's the title, right? That's like saying rollerblade, right? Not all rollerblades are made by Rollerblade, right? They're inline skates, technically. So technically it just has to be in an envelope, and technically it has to be, it's like a 1/4 inch thin. So as long as it's a thin envelope and it's not specifically a bubble mailer, right? It cannot be a bubble mailer for the 60-cent shipping. You're good to go. So I have shipped them in this. This does work. It's considered an envelope, right? It is whisper thin. If you look at the difference between this and this, they are the same thinness virtually, right? I do prefer these. They are less expensive as well. These are great. I just, it's not quite as rigid, right? Look how easy this is to be flimsy. This one, I'm using the same amount of strength and it's not moving at all, right? This one, easy, like, look, I'm barely pushing. Easy to move. If I barely push on this thing, it just doesn't move, right? I'm pushing reasonably hard. So those are going to hold. Those are great. I have the eBay ones just because if you do have an eBay store, once a quarter, you get a discount on, let me show it to you guys real quick. You get discounted stuff. So what you do is you go in here to, I think it's overview. And sorry, you guys are going to see some stuff. If you have questions about this, 1,200 unread messages, that's eBay stuff. I look at everything people send me. I don't look at everything eBay sends me. Scrolling through. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember where it is. eBay shipping supplies. So you can click right here. And so if you have any discounts, it'll let you know. So you can add this to your cart. Oh, no, choose amount. Let's say 12 rolls. I really want 12 rolls. By the way, getting tape this way, it's not a bad idea if you already have enough. That's going to be my next purchase anyway. So you go to checkout. And then if you haven't used your quarterly discount, it will apply. So you can see that I have used my quarterly discount, so it's not applying. But your quarterly discount would apply right here. I think my next one is actually next month in August, if I remember correctly. So do check there, see if you have your quarterly discount. The quarterly discount depends on your store, but it's like $50, right? It's like actually a decent amount. So yeah, something to take into consideration. If you do have a store, if you do pay for a store, you do get some shipping supplies at little to no cost out of pocket. All right, so let's talk about slabs. So rule number one for me with slabs, I do prefer to get them into plastic sleeves. If you do not have these, you guys can reach out to me directly. They are available. Not this company. This is just a company I like. Their plastic is very, very see-through. It also stretches just a touch, which I like, versus some of the graded card sleeves, which are very, I don't know what you want to say, but very tensile plastic. And so it actually will just break if you put it in something too big. But anyway, this is very, very great stuff. Good to have around anyway if you ship multiple cards. To one person, you can wrap it in this, but I make sure I put it in a wrap. These are called graded card sleeves. Very inexpensive, talking like 3 to 5 cents a piece most. And then you're going to want to cut 2 pieces of cardboard. I'm using ding defenders. I will link those in the description. I don't know how my voice went, ding defenders. Anyway, pretend that didn't happen. I will link these in the description for you guys. They're not expensive. They're like 10 cents a piece. And when it comes to speed and efficiency, I decided to go with a box just to see how I felt about it. Normally, I just take cardboard boxes I have and cut them. Doesn't really matter either way. So what you're going to do is this. And for me, I'm actually adding a business card. Whether you guys want to do this or not, you don't have to. If you are a part of the Graded Investors community and you want to add something like this, I can get you something like this so that you can have your information. This is called a link tree. It's actually really cool. You can link our group, you can link your email, you can link other ways to contact you if you end up getting a website, anything like this, which by the way, if you guys need a website, we do have web designers in the group who can put together a very basic website for you just so you have other ways for people to see what you're selling and contact you. But by adding one of these, like I said, you know, if you're part of the Facebook group, I mean, I love the idea of you guys adding the Facebook group and a link tree card. I don't even mind if you guys name yourself Graded Investor Steve, Graded Investor Bob, Graded Investor, you know what I mean? If you want to title yourself as a part of the group, I mean, it's our group. That's not a problem. But either way, pretty cool. You guys can actually use your smartphones and you can take the camera on that and then open up the link and see how that looks. Linktree is free. Those business cards cost, you know, 15, 20 cents, whatever, to print. Not crazy expensive, but, and I'm sure I could get cheaper ones. I went with like a high gloss and rounded edges and a couple other things that I just kind of like personally. But anyway, so I'm popping it in there just to show you guys. Card is in the center, 2 pieces of cardboard on the outside. At this point, I just want to wrap it very tight. So just so you guys can see, I put it against my chest, pull it down very, very tight. So you guys can see that is very, very, very tight. Lay it down as flat as you can, and then I'm going to take this label and I'm going to cover the opening again. That way we know if somebody's messing with it, they're messing with the opening. Again, this particular package that's not a customer address, that's going to PSA. So that's PSA's, whatever it's called, verification service, right? So they're going to double check this. So easy enough. At that point, they will ship it on to the customer. But totally good just like that for me. So I'll set that aside and it's ready to ship. So I know that was a ton of information. I hope that you guys get some value out of this. If you guys do have other ideas of what you'd like to see on videos in the future, let me know. This is the second video in our series. The first video, and I will have links on that in the description as well. The first video was, how to post your cards in the first place. So if you guys have additional questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. Appreciate you guys coming out as always. If you guys have not, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.